me serves me correctly, to CLG against Envious right here on Overpass. Yep. They lost twice to CLG and scraped out a very narrow win afterwards.
Yeah, that's why I was a little bit surprised to see Dust 2 being banned, but at the same time, Envious might have talked about Overpass a little bit after those 2 games with CLG, after those two losses, so maybe they've switched things up.
Certainly make a lot of sense why they're putting so much focus on towards this map. But as you can see very clearly, we are live into map number 2. The pistol is underway with Envious taking by and large total control over Connector. The only player that hasn't joined the rest of his team is MBK, who's on the lurk just outside of B. But have a look at this from Device. He's got all the way around the back through Playground. So he could be the flanker, he could be the man, but at the same time dupreeh's on a chase. He's got 3 or 4 players at his location. No one's going to check him, but there we go. Happy finally will bag the kill from behind. So a good take, but again, Device could be the man. That being said, the flanker, the hunter is going to become the hunted, because here comes the CTs. What the hell is going on right now? Every flanker seems to be getting picked apart, and Kenny S delivers the fatal blow to Xyp9x, but I don't even know what to say about that round. So many flankers, so much craziness.
Yeah, but what it came down to in the end was, I think, dupreeh, who got caught out of position just because I don't think he expected 4 players to come out of Connector there. I do believe 4 players actually did go through sewers or through stairs. And that's not something you normally expect in the pistol round. But yeah, he did get caught out, and he pretty much got killed from 2 angles. So there was nothing that he could do there, and the A side was pretty much open after that.
So this time Astralis decide to play aggressive and have themselves 2 plays in Connector. Full CZ buy-up from Astralis, no one opting for the 5-7. Now because of this B mid stack, A is ripe for the taking, and Envious are about to find that out. Bomb is transitioning over there, and it will be a free plant by and large any second now. Has gone down. Retake in, no defuse kits, no grenades to play with, and Device, the only player without Kevlar, is the first to fall. Kenny S is going to open his account once more. Double Mac 10 frags. That is money in the bank. He does eat 84 damage for his troubles, but I'm sure he's just fine with that.
We could see Envious taking the long route from long, which is obviously a great choice against the CZs that Astralis have. No close quarters. You can pretty much be safe going through long on these anti-force buys. We actually saw the same thing from G2. I do believe it was against Astralis in the other group, and we saw pretty much the same thing coming out of their strat book, and it is pretty much what you want to do, especially if they did if Envious actually did their homework and knew that Astralis were gonna put a few more players into bathrooms and not long, or at least towards long. So definitely a great choice for Envious to go from long. And once again, this time, yeah, they did save three CZs, so there is a slight chance for Astralis in this round.
esportgaming.com, Astralis pretty heavily favored.
That's surprising to me.
I feel like it would be a much more even 50-50 split. And here come Envious anyway. It's an eco for Astralis. You're not expecting too much. Xyp9x is going to do more than I was expecting. Only 2 players for Envious left, but only a P2000 for Device. Ouch. And MBK is not going to give him even a chance to fire off a single bullet. Headshot for him. Astralis will be buying. It's not going to be a great one. Device on a glass cannon AWP. How's his spawn looking? It's not particularly fantastic, but he could get through long fairly rapidly.
This double was pretty nice from Xyp9x. And it's going to deal some damage to Envious and the economy, which is very important, as I said before.
Very fast push from Envious towards B for now. They could just hold fire. Not push just yet, but pushing with real authority and real purpose to start off with. And that smoke is going to keep Karrigan alive because the AWP was trained through Monster. Here come the flashes, here comes the push. What can Karrigan do? The spray in effect, 2 kills, switches to his USB, and a 3rd as well! Ridiculous! He's going to switch to the AK-47. And if that 4th player of Kenny S had gone through, he would have met the same fate you have to feel. What a hold from Astralis, and Karrigan in particular. And the bomb, just to make matters that little bit worse, has dropped the wrong side of Monster. from Envious's perspective.
dupreeh getting a little bit tagged here through the wood. But this is definitely a round going for Astralis. I don't think Envious can do anything here, especially with the bomb dropped at B. dupreeh's a little bit paranoid here. He's not sure if there is a player around here on CT spawn, because they did give up the A site, so there could be anyone there. So that's why they're checking these close corners. But you actually do see Happy moving towards there, but again, this is definitely pretty much a save. I'm pretty surprised with Happy actually pushing up that that far away.
Last player is going to be Kenny S. He does have the AWP. Will definitely have half a mind to save with only 10 seconds.
I'm really not sure what Happy was doing there, what he tried to accomplish, because it was obvious that he was not going to win this round. Kenny S didn't even try to go for it. So why lose that weapon? Especially because the economy, as I said before, they lost 3 players in the previous round. Now we can see the Karrigan highlight. Karrigan, he had a really good catch, especially towards the end there. He had 2 really huge rounds that actually pretty much made it seem like Astralis would come back and take it to overtime. So good to see him doing well and stepping up for his team.
That third kill was the one for me that was the most impressive.
Definitely.
Whipping out the sidearm. And you can understand why Envious kept the push going, because they knew he'd run out of bullets. He had the A1S, only 20 bullets in the magazine. What they weren't expecting is that his USP aim would go right to the forehead.
I really liked his movement there, because he actually pushed up more forward just to avoid a few flashes that were thrown out from Envious. So he actually did not get flashed at all, which allowed him to take all those 3. Pretty simple, at least the first 2 frags were pretty simple, but the third one, as you say, that was pretty much the deal breaker.
So Envious right back to the drawing board. A great start for them on Overpass. They desperately needed, especially on T side, to get some foundations below them. But it did still go horribly wrong. Great trade for Envious. A 2-for-1. Opens up B nicely. MBK is going to push into the newfound freedom. Device from upper is there to silence Kenny S, and that's a pretty significant frag. That's the AWP drop. Bomb's been planted. cajunb, however, is pushing through the shadows. Going to get the first kill. No one was watching Kiyoshima's back. MBK instead opting to lurk. In the shadows. cajunb is going to get the spray down. Happy thought he was covered from that smoke, but he certainly wasn't. cajunb caught a glimpse of a shoulder, and just purely through the process of elimination, where would this last player be? Maybe he's going to be right to my left-hand side. Easy peasy kill. Astralis, fantastic round again. 3 players kept alive.
We can see actually Kiyoshima shaking his head there, because I would think he expected the player under balcony to cover him, and he didn't expect cajunb to be pushed up that far, but it was really sneaky from him. He walked the entire way. Nobody even had an idea he was there. Look at that. Kiyoshima actually pushed up a little bit too much, expecting NBK to cover this angle. Look at what he's doing with Happy as well. He throws out the Molotov and just punishes Happy, who tried to be a little more sneaky as well.
You see how much that smoke hurt, because he threw it was Happy's smoke that landed on the site, and he thought he was covered.
Yeah.
And as soon as he ran, you saw a definite gap in that smoke. So cajunb just could kind of track him through the smoke, lands the spray, and then from there on out, it was just all Astralis. So now Envious on to pistol upgrades, 4 Deagles and a Tech 9.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's the couple of guns that they lost in the 3rd round, I believe. So that's pretty much the difference between a solid buy and this, which is just 4 Deagles, a couple of vests, and the Tech 9.
He'll be able to get a very comfortable buy next round. Could very well include an AWP, if they so choose, going into the hands of Kenny S. dupreeh is in the most precarious position, but of course if he rattles off a few headshots, it's not going to matter. The flashbang is absolutely on point from Astralis, and there we go, 4 kills back to back. Happy on long has been spotted, has been tagged, and you feel it's only a matter of time before he's been fragged as well. He does have the Deagle. We know what he's capable of on this weapon, although it was on Inferno and he was on the CT side rather than the T side, but still.
And not 1v5 as well. But yeah, I actually it did pop up in my mind. when I saw him with the deagle. It just keeps doing that. Whenever you see Happy on the deagle, you kind of get a little bit paranoid about what's about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously nothing from this one as again 1v5 with a deagle and nothing else. Not very much he could have done. Just touching on dupreeh's positioning there, he was actually very close to bathrooms, which is where we are going to see him very often. He does like that position, being covered by a device from behind usually. And I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to see more.
That flashbang deters device enough not to be able to land that shot on the two assailants and long, which were NBK and his tag team partner in crime, Apex. Astralis, though, don't lose anything for their troubles. Envious, you can see, still have plenty of smokes to play with, but in terms of the rest of their grenades are starting to run a tiny bit sparse. But it's still more than enough to play with if they start to execute onto either side. 2 players still on B from Astralis, just trying to poke and probe. Again, it's dupreeh that's playing the most forward position for his team in bathroom. No smoke's going to give him the cover that he requires. In actual fact, he could go for the cheeky push, and that's exactly what's happening. Apex is there to meet him on the other side of that smoke. Neither player's landed really anything on one another just yet. Apex has gone back in for second, still missing.
He knows about dupreeh here. He obviously knows he likes that position.
Oh, Karrigan, that was the key moment, potentially. Karrigan at least needed to take 1 kill with him. And the fact is that Xyp9x at the back of the site can't do a great deal until the rest of his team moves in. But again, Kenny S now is going to be lurking from bathroom. He is going to meet dupreeh any second now. And the two do chant together, but Kenny S actually gets away almost scot-free down to 44. Bomb's been planted. 4 players from Astralis look to retake. Apex is going to get caught, but actually puts cajunb down. And so he then goes on to dupreeh. What has gone wrong again from Astralis? They're being picked off left, right, and center. It's a 1 versus 2. It's Kenny S or bust for Envious, and he's been headshotted from Xyp9x, who gets his second. And Astralis will get the retake, but a really sloppy round from Envious.
Definitely. After what Apex was doing there the whole time was just distracting dupreeh and basically the whole Astralis team, who had no idea that there were 2 players coming from long towards B. But in the end, really, the 2 frags that came into the site, and you had three players of NVS outside of the site, so there was nobody to reply. That's the problem for NVS. They just ended up getting picked off 1 by 1, as you said. And Kenny has not really much he could have done there, really.
Especially with an AWP. If he has an AK or something, he can try and shoulder tap, but
they had a lot of time to actually adjust their positions, but just leaving 3 players out of the site is not the greatest idea with Astralis retaking that mostly from the CT spawn.
MBK, that is rough. Just burnt to a crisp.
Did he get tagged?
Rip and pepperoni.
Did he get tagged before? Or did he actually just die from
I didn't see from his perspective, unfortunately. I think it was Xyp9x that we were watching the whole time, but just outright killed. Maybe a flashbang into the Molotov. He didn't realize he was stood in it. Didn't catch it though.
Yeah, me neither.
But regardless, whichever way you boil it down, Astralis have bagged themselves 2 very quick kills. And Envious, who did pick up the first 3, but of course it's the pistol and subsequent rounds. They haven't really taken any full-on rifle rounds just yet. Karrigan is there, in command of his troops and the battlefield. Happy and Kenny, both isolated from one another. Kenny's been spotted. Can he just burst out and land some kills? Can we see something truly remarkable from a guy that we know is capable of it? He has picked up the first kill, but it's at great cost. 86 HP. Has just disintegrated. And Envious will be conceding a 4th round, almost guaranteed.
A little bit of a... This is a really ridiculous situation. Finally, the nade finishing him off. But, getting picked off pretty much. I'm really not sure what MBK was doing there. If he actually got tagged from Xyp9x before, or if he got flashed, as you said. It looks like a pause from Envious. Is this a tactical pause? Is it possible?
Originally, I thought this is too early for a tactical, but then I realized that Envious, they get the first 3, but then since then it's just been it's been fairly smooth sailing for Astralis. So I'm going to have a quick check again to see if any more information's been given out in the chat.
Doesn't look like it.
I don't think so. I just literally paused. That's it. So,
but I would guess it is a tactical pause.
It makes sense. I mean, this is earlier than you normally see.
Yeah, definitely.
but they haven't had a great deal of success on their T side after those first few rounds.
I'm very surprised with the pause coming in so late, but then again, you do need a few rounds as T to be able to convert this map. And it looks like they're talking a lot. Nothing seems to be getting fixed, so it actually has to be a tactical pause.
You can see Maniac there talking to the rest of the team, so he's trying to rally the troops, trying to give them a couple more ideas. And this is the issue with Envious. You know, we've been over this. It's over old ground, but Overpass is not a map that typically they're very good on. They normally ban this map. They very rarely play it until GEC. So I'm not sure if Maniac's inclusion with this lineup is one of those reasons why. I don't know if he has a playbook or strats that they've been running over, but their T sides have looked a little bit all bark and not a great deal of bite.
And we even saw the issues that they had against CLG as well. We saw that retake from Astralis, and it was not well positioned at all. You have two people relying on 2 people to defend the site while 3 people actually take flanks. I don't understand. I don't understand that setup, that after-plan setup. It's just you can tell that Envious aren't that great on this map, and maybe aren't that used to it as well, because we are not used to seeing them that much anymore. Even though it has been a pretty good map for them previously. But then again, they kind of played all maps at one point.
It's true.
And
here comes the unpause.
Yep.
So the answer, at least for round 9, is a half buy with Tech9s and Kevlar. Expected. They're all around the 3k marks. This allows them, this affords them a buy next round, as they have lost the last 5 back-to-back. So max round loss bonus will be finding its way to the Frenchman on a consistent basis, of course, until they break that deal with the banker. And maybe this is the moment they do just that. They secured the first map, and in a very similar situation as well. Maybe Astralis are going to have reoccurring nightmares. Envious up through connector, all 5 together. MBK slightly by as Lonesome was making sure no one pushed up the fountain, which isn't unheard of on the CT side, especially in Orpak. Can get a very good position, so it's going to be an all-out rush here for Envious. A lot of damage is being exchanged though from those grenades, just keeping them at bay. Device and dupreeh, the D&D combo is going massive. Both are picked up too. Who's going to get the full house frag? Well, neither of them. cajunb has ruined the fun. Not a single point of HP was lost, by the way, in round 9 for Astralis. Convincing shutout.
I liked what dupreeh was doing there, being smart and actually falling back. Look at the Astralis money. 12,000 on Device, pretty much the same on dupreeh, 10,000 on Zipex. 3 players above 10,000 right now. They are flowing in money.
Certainly are. They certainly are, Striker.
It's going to take Envious a lot of time before... What is this?
There's no free rounds, basically. There's no free rounds for Envious. You're looking at 3 or 4 rounds they're going to have to win back-to-back before they break Astralis. Unless Astralis go for some like crazy double warp setups, which I just can't see happening. MBK is the first to fall, so their timeout was called, and so far, not really playing off.
Ouch. A pretty good nade on Kinius. 49 HP down. That is going to be a boost. Not Kinius, though.
Apex. Because, of course, boosting up with that AWP, you only have 1 shot. You have to make it count with an AK. You've got 1 bullet and 29 friends to follow it up, if you so choose. Apex only needed a few of those. Bomb now, interestingly enough, after they get the pick, it's an insta-rotation back over on Fountain. They could still decide to change their mind again and go through Connector because they still have control over that area of the map.
These 2 players on A, cajunb and dupreeh, actually are boosted on top of each other. No, not anymore, but they were trying to gain some information, maybe a surprise Envious a little bit, but it's going to take some time before Envious actually do end up going on the A site, as they are preparing a few smokes, I would guess, to cover off the angles.
The only downside for Envious is that both Apex and Kenny have taken damage earlier in the round, so...
Karrigan is also pretty quick on the rotation, should be at least.
The time though, Striker, 20 seconds. They have to make this count right here, right now. What can cajunb do? First frag goes down. Is he going to spin around on sixpence? No, Kenny S with the AWP will at least make him pay. 12 seconds. Oh, the spray from Kiyoshima through the smoke into the dome of dupreeh. At least secures the plant, and very well maybe the kill that secures the round on top of it. Karrigan, we've seen him pull off multiple double and triple kills, but Kenny S is at least going to silence him for now. Device now steps up to the plate, the next contender. for Astralis, and he's going to be pushing straight in. First kill goes down, instantly spins. And can he get this kill? No, he can't. Kenny S just starts round the corner and then has the cheeky peek. And it's important to mention that Device did have the defuse kit, so he still had time to defuse if he picked up that second kill.
Yep.
But that's a big if, and he wasn't able to secure it. So Envious finally, after 5 rounds, and 6 rounds in actual fact, have got themselves another one on T side. But as we said, it's going to be a long haul. Astralis can afford to buy for at least another couple rounds.
Look at Kenny S compared to the rest of the teammates. He has 11-6, while I don't think anybody else has more than 4 frags, isn't it?
4 for Apex, 4 for MBK. Happy's got 2, Kiyoshima's got 2. Kenny S has got his carrier bags out.
And he had 3 kills here as well. And the 1v1 here was actually very smart there.
There we go, Apex. We talked about before, his entering over the last couple of days has been sublime. If he can start to wake up, then MBS have another avenue of which to explore. But look at that, he did take a lot of damage. He's effectively on death's bed, just 2 HP.
What is cajunb doing? He even heard them. He had to have heard them.
Zipnix, the only player to answer back so far for the Danes. Bomb still hasn't gone down, but it will be very soon. Karrigan will be playing the slow, steady approach up through bankside, it would appear. Envious in almost perfect positions to fend off this retake.
Astralis should look for exit frags here. Envious still not great with the economy, as we've seen, and Kenny has actually had to win 1v1. And if Astralis end up taking a few more guns off of Envious, it would mean that once Astralis actually pick up the next round, then Envious would have to force buy a Rico. So a couple of frags would definitely help.
Oh no.
Oh, what is the... No!
No! No way!
Oh,
okay,
wow.
Okay, let's calm down. Kiyoshiма, thank you, because I think I'd have just killed my voice.
Oh, wow.
I saw them run away, Striker, and I actually got physically scared.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if they could have heard that, but yeah, Kiyoshima being the safety pin there.
It's worth it. It's
I got really excited for a second.
Because they can afford to rebuy, it's worth that cheeky attempt
definitely.
At the end. And
Look at that, they
Karrigan,
still have about 3k on a couple of players. They could still potentially buy, even though it wouldn't be too great, in the next round. Even if they lose this one, so they have so much money that it is definitely worth the shot. And I'm pretty sure Kiyoshima didn't actually expect it. Just he was just there, as I said, like a safety pin.
There's the Molotov onto long. No idea to get rid of that very irritating spot on tree rocks, but no one was home anyway, so Molotov has been used for by and large nothing. Of course, Envious couldn't have known that ahead of time. Device is still there, watching the long angle. Standard setup for Astralis, 3A, 2B. That, of course, will change as time progresses on. Astralis is a very fluid team on their CT side. It wouldn't be completely out the question to see Device go into upper instead. Maybe he had to play that sweeper role, so he can easily rotate back to A if needs be, and if not, he has the AWP trained onto Monster or Short. That smoke's going to stop Envious for now. But still no information has been given. In actual fact, they're going to pop flash and just charge straight through, and Karrigan again is going to bag himself kills. This time he's not going to whip his USP out and pick up a third. And Zipnix is soon to follow. Device, as I said, will try and rotate through upper. The problem is the smoke has landed slap bang on his face. Happy, he's in a good position. Is cajunb going to check this? If cajunb doesn't check this, this will be an absolute nightmare. Happy with the first one, comes around the corner. Device misses his first shot. Can he get it done on the second time of asking? No, he can't. What is going on? Please, someone kill each other. Happy finally takes him down. And that leaves dupreeh. And he can't get this. The cajunb, if he just checked up to his left-hand side, things could have gone so differently.
Look at the HP on Kenny S and Kiyoshima. Happy was actually really forward for how much HP his teammates actually had. It was super risky, but in the end it actually paid off just because Device missed about 3 shots in that close encounter. It would have been really dangerous had Happy gone down.
That was a close encounter of the third kind, mate. See what I did there?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm still going back into my corner. Yeah, it wasn't the prettiest fight to watch.
No, not really.
Let's be honest.
Like Device's movement was actually so good that he actually got the chance to get 2 more. I don't think Happy had such a chance to kill him earlier, since he did have to take out his Glock. but missing those 3 shots, that was really important. So still not such a great performance from Device, even though he did have a couple of first frags. This time it's actually cajunb.
That's a big kill as well, because that stops their control over connector, and now those 2 players are isolated, and Water have to be very careful in case the push comes behind them, although Astralis haven't got a move on. They're still too worried about the potential push over from Fountain, and in doing so, Karrigan was totally by himself. I'm not sure if that was a lax in communication or what happened, but that does afford Envious a bomb plant. And the fact that cajunb and Device are both so low, and Astralis' economy now is at that point where it's starting to break.
Yep.
This time they do have to save. So Envious, after that timeout, have won 3 rounds back to back.
It's a lot of it comes down to Zipex, because I think that's in 2 of those 3 rounds that Envious won. Zipex actually died first in the B site. This time he actually got it was the second frag on Zipex, but it pretty much opened up the round.
It certainly did. And it seems that Astralis may only be able to save and salvage 1 weapon in the hands of cajunb.
It is an up though.
It is an up, that's true. And let's have a look at that economy. Oh,
I wouldn't be surprised if they actually force bot here. Yeah,
it makes sense. Yeah. They can still afford M4s. The issue is going to be the utility side of that.
Yep. I'm just waiting for Zipex and dupreeh to buy here, because they probably... What is going on? Yeah. It just took them a bit of time before they actually...
You can see how much that hurts them, Striker. They have no utility in Device, no utility in cajunb. Only 2 defuse kits is alright, but a CZ on Zipnik, so... They'd have liked to have saved more weapons. It would have had a much more hearty, healthy buy. But instead, this is still enough weapons to work off with, but they need to get that first kill. This is the kind of situation where if Astralis can see the first kill, their chances of winning this round plummets to almost 0.
Yep. They cannot give up a pick to Envious. Look at that.
And ooh, Kiyoshima. I really fancied his chances to get the kill there onto Karrigan, but he doesn't. And in doing so now, you can see that MBK is almost spoilt for choice as to which angle to cover. He has no idea. And he has to watch out for. Finally, Zipnix is going to bite the dust, and Device, who had the AWP drop to him at the start of this round from cajunb, misses his 1 and maybe only chance, and indeed it will be. And now the issue for Astralis, after losing the first map, is the last round, they're not going to have enough economy to get a decent buy. If Envious win this, they're 9-6 up, they're moving to CT side.
It's not a horrible buy, but it definitely isn't ideal. I would expect probably dupreeh to go downstairs to have a close encounter, maybe even stay in bathrooms as we've seen him before, but they do need to switch things up. They don't have enough to actually stop Envious from going to the B site, it looks like. Because most of their success actually came from that site. And this time, yeah, we can see actually Device being in stairs with the mag in the close range, which is obviously the choice to have or to go with.
So 5 consecutive rounds for Envious, hoping for a 6th. Astralis said they needed to get the first kill in round 14. They did get it, but then after that, things just went horribly wrong. Kiyoshima prowling through connector, needs to be oh so careful because Device is holding the tight angle with the Mag 7. But a bullet to the brain is more than enough to deal with him. And Envious, they just got into such a good position off that 1 kill.
Yeah, giving up the first pick again doesn't sound too good for Astralis.
So now Astralis almost forced into a position where they have to play aggressively, have to try and get round the back of Envious, land the kill, pick that weapon up, and that just makes things so much worse, especially as Astralis banked on this being an A play. They were mainly A stacked. Zipnix with the only rifle remaining puts it to good use, puts Apex down. He is going to be picked off himself, and now cajunb pushing through short. He may get the drop onto Kenny. Yes, wow. But the no-scope headshot was that.
He had no idea that cajunb was there.
And the thing is, that's on T side, where AWPers typically struggle a tiny bit more. Now he's going to go to CT side. Astralis have their work cut out for them here, man. We thought this would be their map. It seems like maybe...
Well, Kenny has
something to say about that.
Exactly, Kenny has something to say about that. And Astralis pretty much staring down the barrel right now. This pistol is detrimental. And it does look like Astralis are heading towards the B site, even though they don't seem to be very set on it. Nothing's set in stone so far. You can see the bombs still kind of hanging around playground.
Very slow, methodical round from Astralis. Completely different to what we saw from Envious with a 4-man stack and connected and just rushing onto A. All guns blazing. Here we go. They are going to start to push through short now. Device still on long and no one flanking just yet from Envious. Now we're seeing Apex go in. First frag cast came down. The deadlock lifted. Hiroshima probably should have done better from the angle, but he's going to go down. The rest of his team has stood up tall. This was a round that Astralis desperately needed to win, and it's not going to happen. MBK bags his 3rd kill of the round. Smiles across the faces of Envious, and so they should be. This has been a fantastic performance so far. It started so damn bad, with 6 rounds in a row to Astralis. And then suddenly, they bounce back with 6 of their own.
7, actually. 6-3 was the scoreline.
On the first
7.
half, and now 7, yeah. They've kept the run going.
Yeah, I wanted to correct your math, but then I realized how stupid I was.
Sorry, bro, I still love you.
Bromance is real.
But you cheated on me with Freakazoid, so I don't want to know you anymore.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I know you have ice for him.
Oh, well. I guess I do.
Wow. That wasn't hard to get out of you. That's what Freakazoid said. Anyway, let's just carry on into this round. Envious have themselves weapons. It's a Deagle Eco or a Deco again for Astralis.
This is going to stay in my head for too long. Okay. No, let's get serious. I can't. Okay, we have 3 players from NVS actually. Astralis trying to break through from toilets, but they will not have a good time going to this A site. Looks like oh wow, NBK, nice shot.
Hello,
Karrigan.
how are you doing, MBK? Second 1-dig as well. Karrigan's still alive. Are we going to see more miraculous plays from Astralis? This would be the time to bust out a move from Karrigan. He's gone in for his 3rd, hasn't landed it first time. And Zipnix is going to follow. Unfortunate for Astralis, there was moments there where you thought maybe they could bring this back, but instead Envious have converted. And we are going to get towards that 12-6 scoreline. And this is where Astralis, man, their butt cheeks are going to be clenched.
Definitely.
Super, super hard.
Yeah, I like the bait and switch from Happy. I know it's a little bit ironical, but Happy actually did kind of bait his teammate, but actually ensured that Karrigan would be dead for sure. And was actually waiting behind the car. But yeah, Astralis is not looking good here at all. They're looking at 12-6 and...
They are. That's as simple as that, really.
Yeah. And against on the T side, and really against the momentum. So far, it's 8 rounds in a row. It's going to be 9 here, and that is hard to get over. Well, especially with Kenny still bringing frags.
Bringing the heat. 26 for 7 now, by the way.
That's ridiculous.
Closest player on his team is 11. That's MBK. Closest player overall is Karrigan on 13. So he's double anyone else on the entire server.
Oh my God, Kenny S. This is really like the first 4 months of 2015.
This is honestly winding back time.
Yep.
And having Karri S show back up again. And if he continues to perform like this, Astralis won't get another look in. They will end up losing this 2-0.
Yeah.
Now this is the best fight we've seen though from Astralis and their two sides. This is the moment to start making something happen, and that's the best way.
Finally a pick from Astralis.
Bomb drop towards T-spawn, declaration of intent. It's not going to be a fast plant anytime soon. They just want to look for those picks. Maybe force Envious into a desperate situation. Exactly what Hiroshima does. He has to look for the info. He's dead. And now Zipnix will probably trek his way back to pick that bomb up.
Yeah, I can see the thinking from Hiroshima, but at the same time, Astralis are gonna be expecting that. They will be expecting somebody to try to at least gain some information, maybe return the frag, and Astralis are smart enough to actually be passive and wait for Envious to kind of fall into that trap.
There we go. Bomb's been picked up now. Envious have to keep on looking, have to keep hoping. And there's Karrigan. This is a much better round from Astralis, all around.
There's going to be 2 players remaining. Astralis actually finally, at least, depending on how this goes, as Karrigan actually does go down.
Mini comeback from Envious there, making things a little bit sketchy for Astralis for a few moments, but finally, order has been resumed.
There is Kenny S, though, with how confident he is.
No, he said it's a confidence game, and you better believe the adrenaline is coursing through his veins. He is surging right now. This is so doable. He's got the kit. He's got the second frag. Down to 46. Now the question is, does he know where cajunb is? And the answer is no. cajunb saves Astralis and then puts an extra shot to the dome just to make sure Kenny S is dead. He's a god right now. So I wouldn't even put it past him just resurrecting and wrecking everybody again.
Oh wow, that first shot was so sick.
It's disgusting.
Kenny S, you can tell how much confidence does to him. 29 frags and actually bringing that 1v3 into a 1v1 and actually getting close to even taking out cajunb. It just took 2 more bullets. It would just take 2 more bullets for Kenny S to actually win that round. And with how confident he was, you could tell that he actually wanted to go for that. And it makes sense totally because the economy shouldn't be... Well, actually, if we can... You can actually see that there are no helmets on NVS's side, so the economy probably won't be too good.
I guess it doesn't matter that much in say case because it's still going to be a one headshot kill.
Yep.
But
and they did actually lose 4 players before, so
indeed.
It makes well, actually all 5.
Your point stands because what you were saying is their economy's poor, right? So they're going to have to eco if they lose this.
Yep. Basically, it goes for both teams. This round is actually pretty much worth 2 in a row for any of those teams, I would say, because Astralis, once again, they did lose four players, having to rebuy almost all their equipment.
Ooh, Kenny
makes a whole lot of difference.
Itchy trigger finger. He was hoping he had that peak. So confident right now. You can just see with his movement. Ooh. Oh my goodness, that looked on to me.
I think he actually shot a little bit before he actually had his aim on.
That was super close. MBK is the next victim of Astralis. The murder machine continues. Karrigan as well decides that I'm a bit hungry for the frags. I'll pick one up as well. And now that just forces Envious away.
I'm just saying, when Kenny S, I actually have this specific game in my head. Let's see if actually Kenny S can say this. No.
Love the way he just turned. It's like right click. Oh, you don't have a sword.
You cannot
mate.
throw
Sorry.
that. You can't throw that one. But anyway, I actually do have a couple of games in my mind from Kenny S in Titan times, where he did have about 40 frags against Fnatic and still lost on cash, I believe. And I hope this is not going to be the same story for him, because that would have been heartbreaking. He's very close to 30 frags if he actually didn't pass that. I think he has 29 right now. And yeah, he does have 29. But yeah, obviously it's very early to say that. They are still up 12-8, I'm sorry. And they are on the CT side. They will have to eco though. They have a bit of a quasi buy. More like an eco, pretty much. Only a deagle, a couple of P250s, and that saved FAMAS from Apex. So we are potentially looking at 12-9.
That's absolutely it. As you say, MV is still definitely in the advantageous position. So not any point getting carried away saying Astralis have this in the bag. They're still going to be trailing. You assume they win this round, but still by 3. But you can start to see the Juggernaut getting a move on, just starting to chug down the tracks.
They just needed, Astralis just needed that confidence. And winning that 1v1, well, technically surviving the 3v1, surviving the Kenny S, the Karri S, maybe did a bit for their confidence.
Well, Karri S is dead, and so is the FAMAS. And so are the dreams and hopes for Envious, barring a miracle. Happy believes in miracles, not for too much longer. Device is there. And so is Kiyoshima. So again, they're doing damage. Kiyoshima with 2. He's looking for a third. MBK's there. Oh no, Astralis. We've already seen them get ecoed out once before today. And this would be just as crushing because it would be all that momentum taken away. Here comes MBK looking for the spray. Going to tickle the bomb again. Try and draw out the final player. Oh, Zipnix, who is the clutch king. He goes for the peak. He's taken so much time off the clock for Envious. And MBK is probably just going to slide away off the site. And Astralis will just about clutch, but geez, man, that was so much closer than it ever should have been.
Yeah. Astralis definitely getting a little bit ahead of themselves. We even saw Zipnix being totally out of the sight. I think he was somewhere near playground when those two kills actually came in. So a little bit of a dangerous situation for Astralis there, but Zipnix, you can just see whenever he's in a clutch how just calm he is, how aware he is of what's going on and of the time. Because he was, I'm pretty sure he knew that there was no defuse on NVS, even though there was a safe gun on Apex.
He's just one of those guys that's incredibly calm under pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not going to get carried away. He's not going to get nervous. He just buckles down.
He didn't give NBK much of a chance to actually peek those.
He played it
flashes.
perfectly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that was actually really close. Jeez. He did take down Kiyoshima on 38.
Kiyoshima spanked through the wall. 38 HP left. That's a rough start for Envious. Of course, there's no way for Astralis to know that they've tagged anyone. So,
no.
As far as they're concerned, everyone else is still happy and healthy on the B side.
And this is the situation where the helmet would have made a difference, I would say. I'm not sure if it was actually a headshot or a couple of bullets into the body, but yeah, he doesn't have a vest. I mean, he doesn't have a helmet, so it might have been a headshot, and that's where the helmet comes in place. But obviously, they don't have the economy for that.
Unfortunately, we weren't observing from their perspective, so I can't give you the info there, Striker. But what we do know is Apex is dead. So Envious, with just over 35 seconds, have to somehow hold down the fort. Weakened, severely weakened in the aspect that Kiyoshima's low himself. So is Karrigan, and he's going to be pushing A by himself, trying to play the decoy. Here come the frags. MBK is first to lock down. Happy's playing the close angle. First frag, looks for the second. Can't transfer the spray, but now Kenny comes round from behind. The bomb hasn't been planted just yet. What a shot from Zipnix that is, however. And Kiyoshima now, it's a 1 versus 1. 7 seconds to go, and it's Karrigan, the man on A. And they know exactly where he is, who has to do it all, and he gets picked off from Kiyoshima. He only had a few HP to play with, and Astralis have let another round that should have gone their way go to the Frenchman.
2 more seconds, the Karrigan would have probably maybe walked a bit of towards the end there, because I think Kiyoshima could actually hear him dropping down. But that was so close. Look at that. Look at Kiyoshima here. He actually got dropped to 16 by Zipex. That was so close. Wow, Karrigan even shot him. He actually didn't hit him, but you could see the shot right above him. That one shot would have made the difference.
That is a potential tilt moment, but device stabilizes. Cool, calm head on his shoulders. Apex, where the FAMAS is going to put down Karrigan and Clyde. But again, Astralis opting for the B play. The flashbangs are landing aplenty. Onto short, Kiyoshima, the clutcher from the last round, has to stand big again. And there is a flanker coming in. And look where he is right now. It's fantastic play. He finally goes down from Apex, but has he done enough? Oh my goodness, Device gets the better of Happy somehow. Happy really should have had that kill. And Kenny S catches a glimpse of a shoulder, just bobbing and ducking away. 2-on-2, 50 seconds. This game has certainly lived up to the hype thus far. And the bomb isn't going to move. Kenny S may have half an inclination that it's going to A. And you can see his teammate, that Kiyoshima, has gone up. Kenny S is here with the AWP. There's the first frag. He knows where the last player is, but more importantly, he has the bomb down in Monster. And now this funnels Device into a horrible place. Meanwhile, Kiyoshima is going to be trying to hold down. Kenny S misses the shot. You'd have fancied him to have landed that one. Can Device scurry away? He can for now, but he may just be delaying the inevitable. Because
he's got a really hard position.
He's got 2 separate angles to cover.
But they have 20 HP each.
Oh my
So
goodness.
he has a chance.
The bomb has gone down as well, so now the pressure quickly shifts onto Envious. They have a lot of time to play with still. Defuse kit on Kiyoshima. KennyS is trying his luck. Device has got the first kill. This is such a huge, monumental round. Device looks for the spray, can't get it. KennyS is still alive on sandbags. He's going to go ahead and just say, screw it, I'm going to rush in. Give me that no-scope opportunity. I'm game, but Device is too, and Astralis will hit 10 rounds. If Astralis get back into this map, that was probably the moment that gave them it.
Definitely. Device finally stepping up. He wasn't that bad this on this map, actually. He has been somewhere at the top for Astralis. Actually, 4 players kind of around the same mark, about 15 frags. Device now at 18, but yeah, such a huge round from Device. And it was really hard for Andreas once Device actually put down the bomb, because they had both low HP and they couldn't do much with actually returning the frag, because the pillar there plays a part in. It definitely helps Device just to be able to cover 2 angles at pretty much at the same time, while not being open to the other one.
Device played that pretty much as perfectly as you could hope for.
Yeah, he had guts to plant that next to that pillar.
That flashbang, just a bit too deep to hit cajunb. Hit the rest of the teammates, however. Well, that's effectively an eco round from Envious. Just 5-7s, a P250 and a Galil.
Still could get a little bit dangerous depending on how
Happy
happy he is
sighting
here.
the
I
smoke.
think they'd know about him though. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you're always expecting that someone's going to be on that side of water.
But he
Apex,
actually,
how is Apex still alive? I'm legitimately curious right now. He
what is
did
he
like 3 laps of the B site, and everyone was like, "Cool, man, he's racing. Just let him be."
Yeah, Happy actually fired up a few shots, so I think they were pretty sure that somebody was in that smoke, and it is not. So it's pretty obvious that there's going to be somebody in there. It was
It's a standard spot as well,
interesting smoke.
especially in those kind of rounds. Playing the close angle with the pistol in water is pretty much as standard as it
Yeah,
gets. So
makes absolute sense.
as soon as you see the smoke down there, just spray through. You don't really lose anything as a result.
Yeah.
Envious, after being in a commanding lead the last 6 rounds, they've only won 1. The rest have gone to the hands of the Danes. 1-4 trade, make that a 2-4, make it 2-2. Okay, this is a decent start for Envious.
Looks like
They can't get their hands on the weapons, so
Yep.
that's the problem now for Envious. They would desperately want to go and pick those weapons up, but they can't. If they push too far, they'll get punished in the crossfire.
they're being very smart about rotating back, actually, because Astralis will know that they want these weapons, but Envious don't want to be greedy. They actually do know that there is a chance of winning this round, and being a little too overzealous and not trying to pick up those AKs when you know there's at least one more player there. That's a bit risky, to say the least. It looks like Happy's going to be is going to make a world of importance for Envious. He actually does have a player behind him as well. I think KennyS from the site, so this could get a little dangerous for Astralis if Happy lands the first shot.
Astralis have to check this. Yeah, there's no reason for them not to check that angle.
Yep.
So it was looking like it was a possibility, but cajunb even ducked at the end just to make sure the insta-dink didn't come in. KennyS with a 5-7. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that was ridiculous. However, he has bit the dust. Both players from Astralis are pretty low. MBK still quite healthy. Only a P2000. He'd love to have a pistol upgrade right about now. Bomb's been planted. Flashbang's going to go straight afterwards. And a second as well, just to keep MBK in position. And now you're expecting one of Astralis members to take his head clean off his shoulders as soon as he starts to push onto the bomb. It is planted for bankside.
They're being super smart, Astralis.
Exactly.
They're not giving him the close quarters encounters, really. Wow. And that shot from Device.
Just perfectly played.
Exactly, really smartly played from Astralis. Falling back when they had the information on NBK, they knew exactly where he was standing. So, after all, this looks like a very close map again.
Oh, absolutely. It is going to be going right down to the wire unless Envious can just pull away now.
And this round is going to make a lot of importance because Envious don't really have too much of a bank. We can see KennyS on a glass cannon, actually. And the rest, no helmets once again.
KennyS playing a very dangerous game with no Kevlar in long. being flashed, was playing an aggressive position. You normally expect to see him either boosted onto a flower bed or just hiding behind it. Again, you can see that he is impacted by confidence, and in a very positive way. He's looking for frags that normally you wouldn't see him looking for. And I personally love every second of watching Kenny when he's in this form.
Definitely, but he did drop off from
He
that,
has dropped off.
In the last 4
32
rounds.
for 14 is still a sick score by anyone's standards,
Oh,
but considering that like 4 or 5 rounds ago he was on 29 kills,
Yep.
he has definitely started to slow down a tiny bit, and maybe that's one of the reasons why Astralis are back into this game. But here we go. You're not going to get into the action, into the thick of things. 2 frags go down, 1 apiece. dupreeh with 2 kills, though, opens up the site nicely. However, Kenny S has snuck his way through short, and I'm not entirely sure if they realize this. And he has struck now. They realize the state of play. And yes, looking for the peak. Isn't going to get it done. cajunb too smart on this occasion. Device is there, and now it's all unhappy. 1v3. The positions from Astralis should be more than good enough to quell the push.
Oh, this is going to be dangerous. Oh, nicely done by cajunb. He actually, we could see him actually checking out whether there was somebody in toilets before. And he was aware that Happy could be flanking from that. And look at that. Actually, NVS completely leaving long open. dupreeh just getting 2 free frags pretty much, but completely missing Kenny as we could see actually him jumping through the smoke. Now it's NVS. No, it's not NVS. Oh yeah, they didn't realize they actually took a timeout.
They already took a timeout in the first half when they were 6-3 behind.
Yeah, they didn't realize they were. It's actually been so long that I forgot as well. But they Astralis pointing it out. Obviously, we need to stick to the rules.
Dude,
you cannot give them 2.
You already had one.
Yeah, exactly.
You greedy Frenchman.
Absolutely not. And this is a really tough situation to be in for NVS. No money at all, and it is going to be a good buy in the next round because they have lost so many rounds in a row that they definitely will be able to buy. Well, I think it's 5 in a row, isn't it?
It's 4 in a row.
Oh, 4.
But before that, NVS only won 1 and then 3 in a row. So the last 8 rounds, 7 have gone to Astralis.
Yeah.
So that's a huge streak.
But yeah, this is going to be, if they lose this is going to be the 5th round in a row that they lost. So the money is going to be flowing in thanks to that round loss bonus. But this is still going to get a little bit interesting since Device. Low HP, Apex, same thing. And he's actually the only one with a... Oh, well, there he goes.
It's always interesting for me to see how the 2 different teams approach their weapon choices. You saw for Astralis, CZs across the board, and now it's 5.7s for NVS. Of course, it affords you the additional bullets to 20. I personally prefer the 5.7, but it's very much a personal preference. CZ is still sick in the right hands. Yeah. It's not like it's a weak gun by any stretch of the imagination.
It's a hard gun to control, but once you do, it's really powerful.
Absolutely. And you've got the fully automatic aspect of it if you so choose. But as we've been talking, the execute is coming into play. They're leaving this one a tiny bit late. The fact they're getting the kills makes it a much more manageable proposition. Happy, last player, but not for long. Astralis take the lead.
Let's look at the buy. Yeah, definitely loads of money for NVS. That's again 5 rounds in a row that they lost, so more than enough money. But this is the round that they need to take. It is not going to affect Astralis' economy if they do end up winning this round, but it will be detrimental if they don't.
Certainly will. A bit surprised that if they wanted to go for some kind of like tactical timeout, if on another circumstance you'd send one of your pistol players just off to some random place and just try and save. Now it sounds ridiculous, but then it allows you to have a little discussion amongst yourselves while that's going down in regulation time. That being said, here in round 28, the first 2 kills have gone down for Astralis, and this is a disaster for NVS. And it's their key man, the talisman, Kenny S. Proves that he is just a mere mortal after all. And I was doubting that, legitimately doubting that for a while.
You need somebody else to pick up the slack.
Yep.
Kenny S, you cannot rely on Kenny S to just have a 40 bomb against Astralis and pretty much carrying everybody on his shoulders. You cannot expect that from him. He's bound to drop off at some point. So somebody else needs to step in, pick up the slack, and we haven't seen that in the last 5 rounds.
And especially on the CT side, because you're so much more economically dependent. He can't consistently get AWPs out, so therefore he falls off that way. And Astralis have been denying him of a lot of orbs. And there we go, Karrigan.
A little bit of a mistake switching to the up there.
So Astralis, after looking like they could very well just lose out 2-0 and now on the brink of taking us to Mirage.
It was 13-9, and they are on the T side as well.
Yep.
It is not a great situation. Look at that. The buy will not be great. It's still going to be decent, I believe. They should be getting about 3,000 and a little bit more. Yeah, about actually close to 4,000 actually. So yeah, we can see that FAMAS is and a 5-7. This is
Kiyashima eats damage again through the wall.
Yeah. Not great. And he actually finishes him off.
It was all Zipniks as well. No one else got an assist. So the nemesis of Kiyashima steps up to the plate. And now Envious have a tall order ahead of them, and it just got a whole lot bigger as they shrink down in numbers. Apex 5-7, happy, FAMAS, happy is going to make it count on this occasion. There's still a glimmer of hope. There's still light at the end of the tunnel. They just have to hope it's not a train coming their way, I guess.
Oh, nice. But actually, Astralis needs to be calm here. They need to go together. Look at that. They have 3 players, every single one of them. They're spread out across the whole map. And we can see actually a pretty nice Molotov. Oh, how is he not burning down? Oh, now he is. It looked like he was standing right on top of that Molotov. Now they're actually, they're not actually do end up going towards the B side in all 3. And it's going to be happy here.
Still, that time is ticking down. It just takes Happy to land a couple of kills. That smoke has been placed, and he's going to hide right in this. This isn't a position you expect someone to be stood in. You expect this to be thrown from somewhere else, but then they're like,
Happy.
It's Happy.
It is Happy.
We know what this guy does. He's a sneaky little ninja, and he is going to get slapped down, as will Apex, and Astralis will take the second map 16-13, almost a carbon copy of Cash, just reversed.